Hello? Hello everyone, it's thomasjujube and welcome to a live stream. As you can tell by the everything, this is a live stream. As usual, it's been quite a while since the live stream. I actually know it's been like over a month since the last live stream, but despite that, it doesn't feel like it was that long since the last live stream, so I don't know what's up with that. But either way, live streaming. Let's just say hi to who's here in the chat. Got Zio Agito said hola, hola, hello, John Kirkcaldy, Alcra47, Gus Gamer, Quentin, Nocturne, KR Spirit, Lunar Raptor, Hibiki 2005, Megadon, Fresh Orange. There's a lot of people here. I feel like there's a lot of people. Someone said hi late, dude. The stream started at or I said it would start at 2, and it's 2:03 for me on my time. So either way, hello Toa Brony from the Netherlands. Hello everyone. Hello. So my title is not very relevant. I mean, it is kind of relevant because I do have one that is referring to one specific thing I am going to be talking about. But because it's been a while since the scans for the month have come out, I'm actually not really going to be talking about the scans of the month. For one specific thing, yes, because you can see it in the thumbnail. But other than that, I'm just going to be I kind of want to just talk about the month in Toku, just in the latest month. So Donbrothers, how Donbrothers has been, how Revice is doing, and kind of where we'll go with Revice and Donbrothers. And then I also might talk about Ultraman Decker, since that was kind of unveiled. It's just a suit, so it's probably going to be very quick. And then I also might talk about the Zenkaiger movie, and then the Black Sun suits, which are very cool suits. So I might talk about the Black Sun suits because I actually haven't talked about Black Sun. So I do want to mention this one comment. They said, "Oh, boohoo, you don't like rider suits, so you're gonna make a bitchy stream about it." Shut the F up. No, I'm gonna stream and talk about my opinion. So, someone mentioned the O's movie. Thank you for mentioning that. I haven't seen O's, so I'm not yet. So I haven't seen the movie, so I'm not gonna talk about the O's movie. So if you haven't seen it, you don't want to get spoiled, don't worry. I'm not gonna be talking about it at all. So, and then one other thing too, I just wanted to mention, because I have my thumbnails on this loading screen. I just wanted to point out that I have videos out, and you can go watch those videos right now. The Donbrothers review. So if you haven't seen my thoughts on the first episode of Donbrothers, go check that out. This upcoming week, I am going to be uploading an unboxing. And the next couple of days or something, I am going to be uploading a couple things to Patreon as well related to unboxing. So if you have $2 and you want to support me with $2, you can go to Patreon and support me with $2, and you'll get a bunch of exclusive stuff. And then a couple other videos. One other thing I do want to mention just quickly about the Zenkaiger review is, and it's kind of relevant, people are already talking about it in the chat with Majin. So the end of the Zenkaiger review, just a lot of people have been very nice about that. They're like, "Oh, I love hearing you talk about Majin," or saying, I don't know, just that whole last bit where I just kind of talked about why I am the way I am, and have been mentioning and talking about her for a year straight. People have been very supportive about that, and I just wanted to say thank you for that support on stream, because it does mean a lot. I did put a lot of time and effort and love into that last segment, and it means a lot that people could really feel that emotion in that last bit. So that's awesome. Thank you guys. So as people are mentioning the magazine that she has that came out. They're like, have you seen it? Yes, I have seen it. I have. I do know about it, and I do like it. So just in case people are asking about that. When is Rider Potential Xaid? I have no idea. I will be doing Rider Potential Xaid, but I don't know when. Because I haven't really started writing it. I have started, but I haven't really started writing much of it. But I have like a couple ideas. I still need to like work out some ideas and stuff. I have a lot of like videos I'm like trying to work on at the same time, so it's kind of hectic sometimes. But yeah. So before we go on to the news, I do have like an order for what I could talk about this stuff in, but I actually do want to hear if anyone has a preference for what I should talk about first. So what should I talk about first? As I mentioned, it's either Revice, Donbrothers, Ultraman Decker, the Zenkaiger movie, even though I guess that's not much either way, and then Kamen Rider Black Sun. What should I talk about first? Oh yes, and then someone asked about Zenkaiger potential. Yes, Sentai potential Zenkaiger also on the way. Same thing. I don't know when that's happening, but that is happening. What about Trio of Deep Sin? Yes, I do want. I do want to talk about Trio of Deep Sin too. There's like, it's kind of up in the air, like all those movie reviews, because I'm very behind on movie reviews. Like I still haven't talked about or watched Lupin Ranger versus Paddle Ranger versus Ryu Soldier, and I do want to watch and talk about that movie. So it's pretty crazy. Okay, I'm kind of seeing a lot of stuff. I'm seeing more Revice and Donbrothers, so I guess I'll just do the order. I'll do the order I have set up. Go Revice, Donbrothers, and whatever. So we will do. We'll start with Revice. So let's start with Revice. I need to get this Revice picture up. Oh no, that did not work. Okay, there we go. So actually, let's start. I was gonna start with Thunder Revice, but let's actually start with let's start with like the beginning of the month with Veil, Kamen Rider Veil. So Revice keeps doing this where they have a whole new rider in an episode, and they don't. It's not in the magazine scans at all. They don't like, it's not in the magazine scans because it's a premium Bandai toy. They don't like, we don't have the leak of like this new rider ahead of time. So they did this with Demons. They did this with Jean, not, or no, it is like John. Yeah, they did this with like John, and then they did this with Veil. So they've done it 3 times already with 3 different riders. I don't know if they're going to keep doing it, but I'm here for it. I love when the catalog scans don't have an entire rider, and then we can actually let the show like surprise us. Like you watch the episode preview and you're like, what the hell? A repainted Demons driver? So very, very awesome. So we should probably start with the suit. Get the suit opinion out of the way. This suit is fine. I don't hate Veil's suit. I really like that it's kind of like the Demon suit, like since they both use a Demons driver kind of thing. It has like the Demons driver has like the spider web on his right shoulder, and then this has like a Kabuto beetle on the right shoulder, and it goes up into the helmet. So I think that's pretty cool. I do like that kind of continuation thing, or like that through line. Like I think they also have like the same chest armor, like Veil's chest armor without the Kabuto parts is kind of like the Demon's chest plate without the spiderweb. So I think that's very interesting. But I don't know. Other than that, I mean, I don't know. I'm like mixed on this suit because I don't think the colors are that good, and the cargo pants I just don't think look good. Like the weird, not even like the shirt, like the weird baggy shirt. I don't really care about that. It's just the pants are just like normal pants, and he looks like he's wearing normal boots. I think that kind of, I don't want to say it ruins it, but it does make it look kind of strange, and the colors are a bit off as well. But that's, yeah, it's whatever. So, but the story purpose, like the implications of Veil, or not the implications, just like Veil's moments, his placement in the story is crazy. Like his debut is nuts. Like, obviously I'm gonna start spoiling, so if you don't know who this is, it's fine. But like, I wasn't expecting the dad to have his demon to be Veil, which is the demon in the Demon's Driver. Like, because they set up the thing with GIF, with the heartbeat, like, from the GIF statue, and then they set up the dad as a missing heart, and then the dad is affected by the GIF waves. So I was thinking that the dad was, like, GIF was the dad's demon partner, or something to that effect. Like, the dad was related to GIF in a more direct way, rather than he's kind of like the kids in that he has a demon as well. But I wasn't expecting, like, that demon to be just the demon in the Demon's Driver. So the Demon's Driver is not only alive, but it's just a dude who can go between two different belts. I think that's crazy. You know what else is crazy? This $2 super chat from Kamen Pikachu. Thank you so much for the super chat. And he just says, just wanted to say you're awesome. So thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the message. Just thank you all around. Very cool. I appreciate it. Yeah, people are bringing up the prototype thing. Like, I do get it's a prototype, so it might look kind of weird, but I don't know. I just don't like the baggy pants. I just think it's kind of weird. But yeah, I wasn't expecting the dad's demon to be I wasn't expecting the dad's demon to be the belt, a separate belt, and he doesn't even use said belt. It goes into a different belt. So that's one weird thing, though, like, that it's not the Demon's Driver, but, like, sound-wise, it's the same, like, since it's the same voice actor, like, it sounds the same, so it really makes me question why it even, I mean, I know everyone's gonna say money, so I know money is why they made a separate belt. But I do think it's kind of weird that they were like, I don't know, like the story nah, I don't know. It just kind of annoys me. They sound the same, they function the same, but one's a different belt that you have to probably spend $100 for. So weird, but either way, Veil, very cool debut. It's a little sad though. He had a very cool debut, and then he's been gone since then, and I don't think he's reappearing this episode. That's one weird thing that Revice kind of has been doing, where they have a writer debut, and then the writer ceases to do anything. Like, Evil debuted, and then the next episode had nothing to do with, like, Kamen Rider Evil was not in the next episode, except for, like, the beginning part, since it was a cliffhanger. Demons debuted, and like Demons wasn't even the big part of the episode he debuted. Like, that's really weird. And then I think Sakura as John, like, that had a build up, so that I think that's fine, even though, like, the episode after she debuts, she's just like another character. But I do think that kind of fits. And then same thing with, I mean, like, the story implications of Veil are, like, insane. So that's not, like, it's not to say, like, he doesn't matter as a writer or a character, but it is kind of funny. He debuts, and then he doesn't seem to be transforming for a few episodes. So I think that's really funny. He just kind of, he literally showed up. He beat the crap out of his own kids. No, he didn't even beat up the kids, because they were already beaten up. He just showed up and beat up some random foot monsters. And then he just chilled out. He's like, I'm a head back out to the Demon's Driver. So, yeah. Oh yeah, and then they're doing the Veil spinoff. I'm actually very excited for that. I don't usually watch the spinoffs, but I do think this has potential to be one, like, a really good spinoff, because it does seem to have stuff that's, like, not really necessary to the main story, so it makes sense it's in a spinoff. Like, they already explained essentially the whole spinoff to us. Like, Genta had a different name. He was revived with the gift waves. He was a Kamen Rider. He fought demons. Not Kamen Rider demons, just normal demons. And then he met the wife before they were married. Then they got married, blah, blah. Like, they already explained that in the show. And this is just going to show, like, that whole thing, I guess, like, in more detail. So I think that's really cool. I like, my big issue with, like, Rider spinoffs is usually it feels like they're very necessary to the story, but they just kind of, but they're not in the main story. They are just, like, it's like this side special is required viewing in order to understand the show, but that doesn't seem to be the case here. They already told us everything that's important to the show. It's just if you want to see how the Igarashi family came to be, I think that's pretty cool. So I'm looking forward to that. So after Veil, we did get another suit that is much better than Veil, and I already like Veil. Holy Live is a very good suit. I really like the look of this suit. And I never really disliked the original Live suit anyways. Like, I do agree the colors are kind of a mess, but I didn't really have a problem with, like, the whole trench coat thing, and everything it was doing I like. I even like the jackal form because it's not stupid like the Revice jackal form. But now this one is even better than normal Live. It just looks very, very epic. The colors just work a lot nicer, and then the design. I mean, it's pretty much just the colors work nicer, and then they made Live better. So now, where the issue with this one comes, from my opinion, is the yes. Someone asked if Holy Live is Live's final form. Yes, this is the final form of Kamen Rider Live. So, my issue with this form comes from the story. Now, for how Daiji got it, or not really the story, because, like, in a vacuum, the episode where he gets it is pretty I mean, it's pretty interesting. It's him versus Live. Like, we get Live versus Evil physically, which is very cool. And then, like, the whole dented helmet scene with Kagero is very cool, and then the death of Kagero is interesting, and also, like, the kind of like the idea of it, like, this one character has killed his demon literally, and then he becomes a whole angel, like, right? Like, I think that's a pretty interesting, not twist, but an interesting idea in the show. But that's looking at the episode, like, in a vacuum. If you look at kind of it in terms of, like, the story progression of the show, that's where I think it kind of falls apart. Before I get to that, though, I do want to mention a super chat from ThatMan666, and fitting with his username, or their username, they gave a a super chat donation of $6.66. So first off, very clever. Second, thank you for the super chat. It's greatly appreciated, and even fits with your theming, so that's pretty cool. And they said that, I think the evil dad trope is overly done here. Also, will you review the Saber Beast next? It is funny that, like, I mean, I feel like the Rider show about family was bound to have, like, a family, or, like, a daddy issue plot, because that's kind of what Kamen Rider just does. Even though they already were kind of doing that with George. But I don't know, I feel like it's fine here because it's not the dad that's evil, it's Veil that's evil. He just possesses the dad. So I think it's kind of, I don't know, I don't really mind it. So I also don't really mind it when Rider does it in the first place. At this point, I kind of just accept it, so it's fine. And yes, I do want to review the Saber Trio of Deep Sin at some point. I just don't know when. So the reason that I think that the Holy Live debut just kind of fell short for me is just because, like, Daiji and Kagero, like, or Kagero hasn't really done much since he was doing things, like, since Kamen Rider Evil was, like, our big threat. Since Live debuted, essentially, Kagero hasn't done anything. Like, Kamen Rider Live showed up in that one thing Kamen Rider Evil showed up to fight John, and then just like randomly, like other than that, there's like no reason that happened, and then he showed up to save John, and then we don't really have like what happened in between. Like we have the thing with him getting like curry, but that doesn't really do much. So we just needed more with those two characters, I think. Like the thing with their relationship as demons and characters is that, like, let's say like Sakura and Lovekov, they have Lovekov like in the background of stuff. Like Sakura was like when she was investigating Julio, like they had Lovekov like running around in the background as a ghost. And then like obviously Lovekov is part of fights as the weapons. Sometimes she's just physically there. And then like in that same arc where Sakura was investigating Julio, the big thing is like you had the three siblings. Like they have a shot of the three siblings, and then they have Vice and Lovekov come out as ghosts, and Daiji has nothing. Like they don't have Kagero there, and that's the problem. Like Kagero does not really have the same presence. Obviously Vice is like the main character with Iki, so it kind of makes sense, but like Lovekov literally is just a plush that says two words, love and cov, and then turns into weapons. And it feels like she has more presence in this show than Kagero and Kamen Rider Evil, which is why it feels really like rushed. Not really rushed, just like unearned when Daiji kills Kagero, and then it's like, I did it, I killed my demon that has caused me so much pain, but the last thing he did is save us, or save Sakura. So we just needed more stuff like Daiji's in a fight and he just has Kagero like messing with him. Like you don't even need to show Kagero. You just need Kagero like speaking in his mind, and he's just like, "Oh, don't miss that shot. Oh, you missed that shot. Oh, you're so bad." Like literally we just need Kagero. Like I'm being completely genuine here. Like we needed Kagero to just screw with Daiji and like mess with his head in fight scenes. Because usually we just get him like, oh, Kagero's getting so much stronger. But no, we need Kagero like physically affecting him coming out. Like, especially too with the way the two-side driver works, where like, you know, Live and Evil can switch. Like they established a thing like if Live gets hurt, he'll switch to Evil. Like Kagero will take over. So they needed more moments like that where Live is in a fight. Like the Demon's debut. When or sorry, not demons specifically, when Olteka became demons, like we needed a moment or like just quick where he takes out Daiji, and then he switches to Evil and Kagero comes in control, and he's like, all right, I'm gonna kick your ass now. And like he still wouldn't win obviously, but like he just needed to be a character other than just a dude. Sometimes when Daiji's in a mirror, he will say, "Hi Daiji, how are you doing?" And then that's his entire impact on an episode, and Daiji's and Kagero's impact. So they just didn't, like, it's not even like development with this character, it's just this character didn't feel like he was in the show until this moment when he needed to be important in the show. So it's just kind of sad that, like, I don't know, just the way the two-side driver works, where it's the same belt, the same gimmick, but you can get a different jingle or like a whole different Kamen Rider out of it. And we never got something like that, where like Evil, like Daiji goes to transform, and then like suddenly Kagero takes over, and now he's evil, and now Kagero is fighting. Like the belt says "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo." The show never had an "Eeny, meeny, miny, mo" moment where like the belt just randomly switches to Evil. We needed stuff like that. We needed more Kamen Rider Evil, so that by the time we killed him here, it felt like we were actually killing a character. So that's my rant on Holy Alive and Kamen Rider Evil, because I like Holy Alive and I'm looking forward to seeing more of this suit and everything. It's just that, well, I mean, cool, Daiji killed his demon. His demon wasn't really doing much before that. So now I do want to talk about the big thing. The big... Okay. So, I'm going to take a sip of water first, and then I'm going to go all in on this thing. Okay, so this form is not debuted yet, so I have to use a catalog scan or the magazine scan images. But this is one of, if not my least favorite suit form in Kamen Rider. Like Rider Man, if you didn't know, I don't like the Rider Man suit. This is only a little bit better than Rider Man. It's just like... Okay, so let's break it down. Let me break down why I don't like this suit. Okay, so first off, it doesn't look good. Like that's the obvious, that's the generic thing. The colors are not good. Let's get that out of the way. I don't like how it looks, right? Okay. I don't like the story, or okay, like it hasn't debuted yet, but even when it debuts, I don't like the fact this form exists. Even if we don't take into account that it doesn't look good. So, because it's like, they have a 2-part form thing going on. But, like, first off, we already did that in this very same show. We have Baried upgrading to Volcano, right? So we already did a 2-part thing in this show. I don't know why we're doing another one. And then... the second part about that is that the 2-part upgrade here is like, it didn't need to be that. Like, this is an upgrade of Jack Revice, apparently, because you can see, like, the Jack Revice parts on, like, the images on the bottom right. But it doesn't even use the rolling Vice stamp. It uses it as a weapon. But the Thunder Gale Vice stamp that transforms... this form, or that I assume upgrades Jack Revice, does not use Jack Revice. I don't understand that at all. It's like, I mean, it's like if Kiwami Arms in Gaim, like, was upgraded from Kachidoki, but didn't use the Kachidoki Vice stamp. Or if you, like, Muteki upgraded from Maximum Mighty X, but did not use the Maximum Mighty X Gashats. Or even like something as simple like Baried Rex upgrades to Volcano, but the Volcano Vice stamp did not use the Volcano, or it's like if, alright, let me restart that. It's like if the Volcano stamp upgraded Baried into Volcano, but it didn't use that Baried Vice stamp. Like, this is an upgrade to Jack Revice, but it doesn't use the Jack Revice Vice stamp to transform. So that I don't understand at all, even from like a toy perspective. It's like, what, you're not selling people on Jack Revice anymore. You're like, oh, Jack Revice is just a weapon now. It's like you can scan the thing and there you go. That's your finisher for this form. Like, okay, so that's dumb, right? It doesn't look good. I don't understand like why it's constructed like this. And then I don't get, like, the... I don't get the story usage as well. Like, again, it hasn't debuted yet, but, like, I'm assuming this is just going to separate Vice and Iki again. Or maybe, like, combine... It's going to fix whatever's happening with Iki and Vice right now. But, like, I don't know. It just feels, like, really unnecessary. Like... because we, like, there's nothing wrong with Jack Revice, like, as a form in the show, like, story-wise. It's like, okay, so, like, Vice was getting headaches, so the rolling Vice stamp was intended to fix that, I think. But because of the GIF waves, they're so powerful, they made it all messed up, and then Vice switched with Iki. So we had to put Iki back in control to fix that. And I mean, like, if this form was that, like, putting Iki back in control, that would make sense. But we got Iki back in control, like, a couple episodes ago. Iki's now in control, but now like Vice is like inhabiting his body as well. But then what's even weirder is now Jack Revice is not even like Vice's form. It's Iki's form, and sometimes Vice can use it. Like I don't get that. It was like the Vice form, and now it's not the Vice form. It's just like, I mean, now it's a Revice form, but it's I don't know. Like that is super weird to me. And then like again, the fact like this is upgraded from Jack Revice, but barely doesn't even look like it's upgraded from Jack Revice. And then yeah, like someone mentioned it in the chat, like the fact this is not Kamen Rider Revice like Thunder Gale. This is Kamen Rider Revice. Like this isn't the final form. I've seen a few people mentioning that. This is not the final form. Hopefully I'll mention that in like a second. So this isn't our last form of the show, but this is the like this is Kamen Rider Revice. This is the title of the show. Like this is literally the titular character of the show essentially, because it's an upgrade of Jack Revice, and that also just hurts. I mean, not hurt, but like just from the way it looks like this, and this is like Kamen Rider Revice of the show Kamen Rider Revice. And that's like incredibly like weird as well, like because it just looks like Revi. Like it just looks like a Revi upgrade. And then like you can see they like made Vice's eyes like the antenna. But like it does, you could have made it look like the logo, because the logo has Vice's eyes as like the mouth, and that would have looked kind of cool. Or you could have just repainted Jack Revice in these colors. That would not look good either, but at least like I really don't get it. Like if you like everything about this form, I'm very happy for you, because where I'm at right now, it hasn't even debuted yet, and I'm just confused by it. And I don't think like the story will make it any better as well, because I still don't get how it's necessary other than to fix Iki and Vice. But you could have just written that in, or you could have just saved that until this. Like, you didn't need Iki back in control, and then Vice is whatever. I don't know. It's not good, in my opinion. Yeah, someone mentioned, I would hate this so much if this was the final form. I'm happy this isn't the final form, but it's also, I'm also just upset it exists as a form. It just doesn't look good. Someone said, the suit's growing on me, and I don't think I like that. Stockholm Syndrome. That's funny. And also, this makes, like, the final form weirder, because we've gotten, like, leaks of what the final form will be, and it's just going to be, it's just gonna be like Revi and Vice with two separate forms, and I don't get thematically why you wouldn't make the final form of the show Kamen Rider Revice. Like, it's just the super form, and it's an upgrade of another form but it doesn't use that form's upgrade item at all. It's just it's whack. It's weird. Too much neon. I don't know if it really has neon. It's just, I don't know. Is it just me, or most forms in Revice don't last so long? Yeah, the Revice is not very, like, good at handling its forms, I feel. Like, I mean, like, the original 10 Vice Stamp forms, like, don't even, like they barely showed up. Like, Jackal showed up twice, and one of those times it showed up was for 2 seconds in that one fight scene where they were all using all the forms. So weird. And then, like, Buried Revi only lasted a couple episodes before Volcano appeared, but I feel like that one's a little different because Buried just moved to Vice. But in this case, it's, yeah, like, we're probably never going to see Jack Revice again, because it's, like, it's not even, like, it's like, what's the point? You could just use this Thunder Gale Vice Stamp. Why would you... You can use this Vice Stamp, and then you can use Rolling as a weapon. Why would you use Jack Revice as a form in the show? I don't get it. That looks like Revine 01 grinded in a blender. Yeah, pretty much. So, yes, let's just hope the final form looks better than this form. Very true. So, that's about it for Revice. I don't want to say I'm not looking forward to the future because I have been enjoying Revice a lot recently. The whole Veil episode, like the episode before Veil debuted, genuinely, I think that is a wonderfully written episode of Kamen Rider. Like, there's so much happening, but none of it feels fast-paced at all. Like, it feels really well-paced, but yet they're cramming so much in. I think that is like a masterfully written episode. And the episode after was pretty good, and the episode after was pretty good. And maybe this episode with Thunder Gale will also be pretty good. I don't think the episode will be horrible because of the form not looking good, but yeah, I don't like I don't like the form. So hopefully the final form isn't like Saber. The final form will probably be like Saber because that's just what Reiwa's going to be doing. But I mean, I like Cross Saber. I like 02. I like Cross Saber. So I mean, looking at this thing, I maybe we need to go back to just doing a repaint final form because maybe we don't need an over the top thing. Imagine working for Toei just to make this form. It's very sad. But I mean, you get to work on a Kamen Rider show, so I mean, that's still a W, I think. I don't like being negative, so, but I genuinely, like, I have very strong opinions on this form. So, oh, someone did bring up who is he fighting? It's he's fighting Ulteka. He's using the Anomoto Karis vice stamp that Ulteka used in the last episode to get like those arm things. He's using that to create a new monster form. So that might be the end of Ulteka. I'm actually very interested to see what they're gonna do with Ulteka because he's already very powerful as demons now. Like Veil is working with him. He's like, "Yo, Ulteka, you wanna mess some people up?" And then they're messing people up. So I wonder where they're gonna go with that whole relationship to where Ulteka's like, you know what? I'm going to become a monster again, literally. So, so that's Kamen Rider Revice. My thoughts on Kamen Rider Revice right now. Yeah. So, moving on to Avataro Sentai Donbrothers. So we don't really have any like scans that we like for stuff we haven't seen. So I just put some pictures of the show, what's happening soon, what has happened. This will probably be a little quick because I mean we've only got one other episode, and I already reviewed. We have 2 episodes right now, and I've reviewed one of those 2 episodes, and I've talked about all the suits and stuff in the past. So I am not really I don't know what much I have to say about Donbrothers right now, so I guess I'll leave it to you guys if you have like a question or something. But Donbrothers, I'm actually really enjoying Donbrothers. As I said, that episode 1 was pretty good. I liked that episode 1. It was very fast paced, but I kind of liked how different it was. And episode 2 as well was like incredibly fast paced, but I really liked episode 2. Like something about episode 2, how fast it was, but like how interesting it was. I liked episode 1, but episode 2 got me on board for the rest of the show. Like I am super excited for this next episode and like the next few episodes, just because of like just episode 2 was really good. I thought episode 2 was fantastic. So I'm really looking forward to the rest of the show. I'm still like I don't know. Like there's a lot I'm looking forward to, like all the characters meeting each other. Like that in itself is something that you wouldn't really expect from a Sentai, but I am excited for the characters to meet each other in the Sentai, so that's fun. The Zenkaiger sequel aspects, I'm still really excited to see what that like where that goes with Kaito. So and then the brain person are like super cool villains. Like Sonoi and Sonoza already are like really fantastic. Like I said, Sonoi stole the show in episode 1 for me. I was not expecting him to just be the way he is, and Sonoza's just like more of the same. Like they just show up and like Oni's sister's like, "Mama, you talking to Selma?" And Sonoza's like, "Dude, what's up? Who is this? What is she doing?" Sonoi's like, "Bro, I have no idea. She did the same thing to me. Let's just fight this monster." And like the fact they're anti-heroes as well, like because I thought they were gonna be like the villains. They're creating all the monsters, but the monsters are just like this is essentially like Lupin Ranger versus Paddle Ranger, but done a little bit better. Maybe I'm just kidding because the show. I mean, maybe I'm not kidding. But I just think it's interesting that like we have a whole separate faction of evil rangers, but because they're not like the heroes, we don't like have this like weird diverting focus. We just have our hero focus, and then the villains show up and they're evil rangers. So I think that's really clever. Someone said I still have to learn their name, or they still have to learn their names. I still have to learn names too because I don't know half of the Donbrothers names. Okay, I know Momoitaro-sama, obviously. I know Haruka. I know the dog, I think, is Inuzaka, but I don't know if it's his last name or his first name. And like I know Kiji brother's name is Kijino, but I think that might be his last name, and I don't know his first name then. But I also don't know, maybe Kijino is his first name. And then I don't know anything about the Saru brothers' name. I know it has the word Saru in it, but that's it. And then the villains are easy because it's Sonoi, Sonoza, and Tsunoni. It's like it's the same name but just a little bit different, and that's very clever. Thank you, Toei, for remembering names easy, because that's also their ranger or their monster form. Yeah, like they don't have a ranger name. I just realized they're just like Sonoi, and then Sonoi as a monster ranger, Sonoza as a monster ranger. So it's like in that aspect, like they're still not like rangers really, but they are kind of rangers. So I've been calling them pseudo rangers because they're kind of something like they're on the same level as like in Kamen Rider, like Night Rogue and Bloodstock, I guess, are the best example, where they have a device that transforms them into a dude with a suit, but they don't say henshin. They say a different thing, and then so they're not Kamen Riders, and they're not referred to as Kamen Riders. So his name is Shinichi Saruhara. Thank you. But I think, yeah, Saruhara is his last name, so I assume Inuzaka is the dog's last name too. So, and I like referring to the characters by their first name if they're referred to as such. If they're not referred to as such, I'll just call them whatever. Maybe I'll just call them all Taru, Oni, Kiji, Inu, Saru. There you go. What will happen to Kaito and Donbrothers? He's gonna kill everyone because he's just that kind of guy. I'm kidding. One thing I do want to touch on is just I saw a couple of people mention it, like the CG. The CG's kind of it's not that bad. Like you guys are really, I mean it's not good. You can tell there's CG, but as I mentioned like in the review, the biggest problem is just the lack of motion blur. Like. And I mean, like, no, it's kind of the compositing, like, as well. Like, you can see this bottom right image. Like, you can tell that two of the people are not in the scene. And it's because they're, like, very high definition. Like, they're much... The CG brothers are much more, like, sharper in terms of, like, their image quality. And that's kind of hurting why you can tell they're not in the scene. So they needed to be a little more, like, sharp, pretty much. Will there be a Lightning Collection Majin? No, because she's not in Power Rangers. However, maybe I should commission someone to make a lightning collection with Gene. I actually would unironically like do that. So like if they made a lightning collection Maji Ranger, then maybe I'd or Mystic Force because it's Power Rangers. I don't know. The Mecha and Ultra look pretty good. Oh yeah, that goes without saying. I think everyone seems in uniform agreement that the Mecha CG is like beautiful. Like it's weird in one aspect the CG is groundbreaking, and then in another aspect of the very same episode the CG is very not groundbreaking, but it is still like pretty good by Toei standards. So like the thing that like I saw people mentioning with Kamen Rider Demons when he went into his like triple Genomix form in the same superhero time slot that episode 2 of Donbrothers happened. In the reason like people were like mentioning like why does Demons look so much more realistic, and it's like you can tell with like it's the animation style is like very different kind of because I don't think the Demons Genomixes are mocapped. So they're like manually animating them, I assume. But then because of that, like they still have like motion blur when he's moving. He's got motion blur. He's composited more into the scene. Like he looks like he's part of the scene. However, Kiji brother and Inu brother don't look like they're part of the scene, and it's because they're mocapped. I know they're mocapped. I don't know if the Demons Genomix is mocapped, but I would assume the difference is one thing is mocapped and another thing is not mocapped. That is my guess for why like they look different. I would really love like an in-depth dive discussion from Toei on why they chose to do 2 CG. I mean, we kind of figure why they just one is a Birdman, one is a dog. So it kind of makes sense why it makes sense why they did it. But it's kind of I want like a deep dive discussion on like how they did this. Like the mocap, what the mocap did, the blah 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 blah. Like I really want like the behind the scenes of Donbrothers pretty much. Also, Demons physically interacts with Jack Revice. It swaps to a CG Jack Revice. That's also a good point. That interacting with a CG like thing, 2 CG things interacting with each other, that will look realistic. I don't know how I haven't brought this up yet. Thank you for bringing that up because I did want to bring up my favorite part in either in both episodes of the show, and it's the scene where Inu brother arrives and he kicks a foot soldier in the knee and he just trips and falls like face down, and then the dog jumps on his, I think it's his back, but it might be his butt too, and then the dog just jumps up and down, up and down, up and down, and then Haruka's like a dog and he points at her, he's like, yo, we're not talking about this, okay? It's so funny. Like I haven't like retweeted a lot of Donbrothers stuff, but I saw a Donbrothers like someone made a gif of just the dog jumping on the foot soldier, and it's so funny. I had to retweet it. It's so funny, and I'm like that's part of why episode 2 is so funny. It's so funny. Or not funny, why it's so good. Episode 2 is fantastic, and part of it is because of the CGI dog jumping up and down on a man, and the man has to like fake a dog jumping up. Like there's raw footage out there of these foot soldiers like tripping over themselves because they had to CGI a pigeon man. This show is great. I'm looking forward to this show. It's so funny, the dog. It's in the intro as well, so I zoomed into it in my review just so you could really see it because it is so funny. Oh man. Back on track. We got a $2 super chat from Lambo Calrissian. Hello. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I greatly appreciate it. He said, let the hate flow through you. No hate. The CG dog is funny as hell, and I love him. He's probably not my favorite character now, but he's fantastic. But yeah, he's definitely not my favorite character because I only like him as a dog when he's jumping on people. Other than that, he's got a cool coat, I guess. But I did want to bring up someone said, someone on topic. Thomas, did you see the video of the Gokai? They said Gokai Cellular, but I assume they meant the Gokai Germo Pirates. The Ranger key sound for Majin. What's very funny about that is that the person who found that sound, and the first thing they did was just post that video and at me on Twitter. So in a way, that sound was only found because of me. No, not because of me, but I'm the first. I was the first person notified of that sound. So yes, I do know about that sound. I will be buying that key. I just hope it's not very expensive because I know these. I've never been in the Ranger Key collecting department, but I've watched people's journey through the Ranger Key collection department with great interest, and I'm very scared about that Majin key because I will need that key, but it's gonna be they're gonna be. I'm just hoping it's like a Zenkaiger set, like if they release, or not even like a whole pink set. If they release an all pinks, no, maybe not an all pink set. Well, no, because they'd have to. Oh no, maybe. See, it's like if they do an all pink set, would they do a pink set of every pink Ranger ever? Because that would be really scary. I don't know how I feel about that. But if they did one for like the post Gokaiger pinks, I'd be down for that because those are like the shows all the shows I've seen except for Maji Ranger. So I'd be kind of interested in buying like that kind of key set just for Majin, or if they did like an all Zenkaiger set just with Majin, I'd definitely buy that. I probably wouldn't even sell the other keys. I just keep like all the Zenkaiger keys because that would be great. This is a great question. If you're getting her key, are you also getting the Mobirate? I will consider it. It depends. I mean, I guess it depends how much the key is. But if I'm getting a bunch of keys, I might as well get the Mobirate to go with it, right? So, see, that's a good question. I have to think a little bit more about the getting the Mobirate for the Majin to get that sound. But I'll definitely be getting the key, pretty much. You think I should have Ranger keys for the power-up forms? The same person that hacked the Majin sound out of the Mobirates also hacked out the Super Ranger sound from the final episode of Gokaiger. So, presumably they also have a Ranger key set in the works for those Ranger keys. So they might make. I mean, I guess they will make those out of Max Reusel Red Key. That would be pretty hot. I don't think I'd really need that though because they're making the Reusel Red, the the American one that I keep saying like, oh, I'm definitely gonna buy the Dino Fury toys, and I never do. But that one I will definitely need. It's just a single figure. I need that single figure. I love that form, so I definitely need that. So I probably wouldn't get a Ranger key of it just because, like, I'm not in the market of collecting Max Reusel Red, like, merchandise. I am, however, in the market of collecting pink Kikinoid merchandise. So I will probably have to get that key. Kikinoid key set. If they do the civilian mode as a Ranger key, I would consider buying 2 sets just to have 2 civilian Ranger form keys in addition to 2 Ranger keys. Or Ranger form keys. That would be, I would probably die if they made a Kikinoid key set of all the keys of like all the civilian modes. Damn. What's my opinion on Cyborg Kuro-chan? I don't know what that is. Someone said Lightning Collection Max Reusel Red. I agree. I would buy a Lightning Collection Max Reusel Red. I don't buy a Lightning Collection, but I would buy that. Thoughts on Dino Fury? So, I haven't watched any episodes of Dino Fury past, like, episode 12 or, like, 10. Somewhere in there. So, I can't, that was, like, a year ago or something, so I can't give any opinions on Dino Fury right now, unfortunately, but I do want to binge like the whole show. Once the second half of season 2 drops, I'll probably just binge through the whole show. I don't know if I'll do a review, because I don't know. I don't really feel like reviewing Power Rangers, to be honest. But I will watch Dino Fury once it's complete, because I do love the Ryu Soldier suits, and I did think the first 12 episodes of Dino Fury were pretty good. It's just that I don't know. I just the Netflix thing, and I don't know. Like, it was kind of easier to like watch it week to week. For me personally, not that I hate like the Netflix thing. Like, if they did Netflix weekly, then I would probably still keep up with the show. But dropping a binge like all at once is kind of a lot for me. Like, even mentally too, it's like, all right, I have to watch 8 episodes of this show. Even if it's a good show, it's like I have to watch 8 episodes of this show. Thoughts on Beast Morphers? I have seen all of Beast Morphers. I did think Beast Morphers was pretty good. I think the biggest drawback is like, for some reason they didn't really focus at all on the robot friends. So when they have like emotional moments, like, oh no, the mechas destroyed the robot friends, or oh no, we need to save the robot friends for the armor, but like the robot friends never appear in an episode unless they're relevant to the episode. Like, in a way, they're kind of like Kagero from Revice, because Kagero never appears unless he's like relevant to the episode. When like, to make him more impactful, you just need to always have him there. So same thing with the buddy robot friends. They needed the B spots. I just remembered her name. They needed to have the B spots in more episodes, I feel, or more relevant to episodes. Is Donbrothers kind of like a sequel to Zenkaiger, or completely new? I was just wondering. It is. Toei themselves have said that Donbrothers is a continuation of Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. But right now we don't really know in what way, because they just have Kaito. They just have Kaito's actor returning. You don't even need it to be Kaito's actor, because he's not the same character as far as we know. So it is supposed to be a sequel, but we don't know to what extent yet. So right now you can watch Donbrothers without having seen Zenkaiger, but you probably do want to watch Zenkaiger at some point before Donbrothers gets too far along, because who knows what will happen in terms of like the sequel thing. Is Kamen Rider Revice good? Yes, it is pretty good. Someone said, should I watch X8? Yes, you should watch X8. Have I seen the O's movie? I haven't seen O's, so I haven't seen the O's movie. Am I going to review Superhero Senki? Yes. Someone asked if they can ask a question. Yes, you can ask a question. Juron hasn't spoken yet in Donbrothers, which is a bit jarring. Well, because it's a different Juron. It's someone like mentioned it. It's like on the same level of like the avatars. Like, it's just a Juron avatar. It's not actually Juron. So summoned by Zen Kaiser Black. So I didn't even say the Z there. I said like N Kaiser Black. Weird, but Mr. Von Cooper asks, do I like Ultraman Decker's design? And that is a great segue into actually the next thing that I actually wanted to talk about, which is Ultraman Decker. So I actually didn't get an image of him up. So let's briefly talk about Ultraman Decker, because I did just want to talk about him because it's a new suit. How many times have I watched X8? Only twice, actually. So Ultraman Decker it's fine. I don't know how I feel about the suit. Like, genuinely, I don't know, because the original Dinosuit I wasn't the biggest fan of. Actually, speaking of Ultraman suits, I did a couple videos ranking all the Ultraman base form suits. So if you do want to know my like in-depth thoughts on these suits, you should go watch that video. But anyways, briefly, I'm not the biggest fan of the Dinosuit. So an upgraded Dinosuit is like, I'm also not the biggest fan of. It just looks, I mean, it's an Ultraman to me, I guess. I don't hate it, but I also, I don't like love it. The weird thing is like the galaxy effect. I do like the idea because I love it on Cross Saber, but maybe it's a bit too much there. But here it's a bit strange. Like the whole thing on the chest, I don't know, it's a bit weird on the chest. And then like the asymmetrical thing, I think was Dyna asymmetrical? I don't think Dyna was asymmetrical. So I don't know why they made him asymmetrical. So the asymmetrical thing is a bit off-putting to me, but I do like they have the trigger armor effect. Like the way the armor looks on his arm, it looks like Trigger's chest armor. So I think that's really great because someone did ask, yes, this is new gen Dyna, I think. Or yes, it is. Not I think, that is the point. It is new gen Dyna, meaning it is a sequel to Trigger as well. So I like that the designs are like they're linking the new design aspect of Trigger with the sequel. So I think that's cool. I do think the galaxy thing on the head is a bit much. I think that's where I don't know, but you can't really notice it in the wide shot. In the close up it looks a bit weird, but in the wide it doesn't really affect it. And like the rest of the suit just kind of looks like Dyna. I assume it's like Trigger, where it looks like Trigger's like suit looked like Tiga. It's just like a little bit modernized. I assume this is the same thing. It's Dyna's suit, but a little bit modernized. So, yeah, I don't know. It's fine. Will I watch Dyna though? That is the big question, because I stopped watching Trigger and I do want to finish Trigger, but I got really busy with other stuff. So watching that weekly actually kind of got away from me. I said I'd watch Dino Fury weekly if they did it weekly, but maybe that's not the case. Because I kind of stopped watching Trigger weekly just because I got busy with other things and I got so behind. I was like, hey, I'll just wait for it to finish and then I'll binge it. I still haven't binged it. So I'm just kind of waiting maybe for when I want to review Zet and then review Trigger. So... I was thinking of like stapling those in the same review, but I don't really want to do that. So I'll do a Zet review and maybe I'll review Trigger with like the movie that just came out. I don't know, because I mean, even before I stopped watching Trigger, I wasn't really the biggest fan of it, and that's why I just kind of stopped watching the show, because I was like, yeah, I don't really love this show, so maybe I'll come back to it later. So I don't know. I'm not even, I mean, I like Zet, so I want to say, like, I'm not the biggest fan of Zet. I just dropped something. And I'm not the biggest fan of Zet, but I also do really like Zet, so I don't know. Do you know why Ultraman are never in a crossover movie with Sentai and Rider? It's because Ultraman is owned by a different company. Ultraman is owned by Subaraya Productions, and then, then Toei owns Super Sentai and Kamen Rider. So, yeah. Apparently the Trigger movie is good, so that's good. I've seen a couple things about it, so I know they did they did a watch party on Discord, and then they had the actors talking in English, so that was fun. There's like been a couple of like Ultraman connection like things, and the actors are like talking like in pretty good English, so I think that's really fun. It's really cool how Subaraya is like really like how much they push to the American audience. Like they have full English dubs of some of the YouTube exclusive stuff. They're like this movie comes out in Japan, and then they're like, $5, you can watch it too with subtitles. Like, what? How? Ooh, that is crazy. Like, I would pay like $20 to watch the I would pay like $20 to watch the Sentai versus when it comes out like in a month or something, or like Kamen Rider Beyond Generations. I'd pay $20 to watch it subbed right now. Like, I can't believe like just how how big of a push Subaraya does to the American audience, and that's really awesome. Like, that's part of why I wanted to get more into Ultraman, because I don't like, they're really pushing to the American fans. The only thing they're missing is the toys, like the toy push. Like, there's no local way to get like Ultraman stuff. So I want to say it's kind of like an inverse of Kamen Rider because we can get the toys easier, but we can watch some of the shows officially, but not to the extent that Subaraya does. However, some of the localized Kamen Rider stuff is not really as accessible as you would like it to be. So even the shows I think are like, yeah, they're like American locked, and the Ultraman stuff is like global. So that's I'm not here to compare though. I just wanted to. Am I going to watch Ultraman Decker? If I can finish Trigger before Decker starts, yeah, I'll probably watch at least episode 1. I want to know. I want to see if the theme song will be as banging as Trigger's theme song. Because if they can match Trigger's theme song, then maybe it's worth watching a couple episodes of the show. Ready to pull the Decker. If I could create a new Revice form, which creature and previous writer would I base it on? I would make a bunny Vice stamp based on Hyper Muteki. There you go. Wouldn't be shocked if you used a variation of the keys like Donbrothers with gears. Yeah, they'll probably do something with the keys. Like super hyper keys or something. I hope they make the the Rise device better, because the Rise device of Dyna is actual garbage. Like, I'm not even playing. I don't like it at all. So, hopefully they improve that aspect. They should make it another gun, honestly. Like, you had a good thing going with the trigger gun. Just make another gun. It's fine. I hope we don't get more hyper keys. My wallet can't deal. I don't have a single hyper key. I don't collect hyper keys, so I'm in the good. Majin Vice stamp. That is a wonderful idea. That is a great idea, actually. Fantastic. Someone just joined and asked if that's the new Ultraman. Yes, this is the new Ultraman. Ultraman Decker. What are my thoughts on Century? It's a cool looking suit. The belt is kind of wild in terms of, like, it doesn't do much. The sounds are cool, but it's $100, so. Yeah, this is a funny thing in terms of, like, the big three, like Kamen Rider, Super Sentai, Ultraman. Kamen Rider or Super Sentai and Ultraman are both sequels to a previous show, so you wonder if they're gonna make a Revice sequel. Probably not, but maybe I'll eat my words. But, like, how would you make a Revice sequel? Like, you could. It would be kind of interesting to do something like 10 years, and not even 10 years, like a bunch of years in the future, when the 3 Igarashi siblings have their own kids, and now they each have, like, a demon. But that feels like something more like a Sentai. You can do a Sentai of kids and their demons. So they should just make a Sentai sequel to Kamen Rider Revice. Like, we're already breaking grounds with having Super Sentai sequels. We're gonna make Kamen Rider Super Sentai sequels. That is unmatched power. Am I gonna be watching the Forza 10-year anniversary movie that should be coming out next year? I feel like that would have come out last year, because I don't think it's the 10-year anniversary. But I also haven't seen Forza, so I wouldn't be watching it anyway. Oh yeah, we did. I don't think I've talked about the 6 Ranger rumors for Donbrothers. Let's. I mean, it's not much. It's just a gold. We're getting a Ranger. He's gold and silver. And then we're getting another evil Ranger. That's about it. Do I think Holy Live is Daiji's final form? Yes. It is definitely the final form. I wonder if... Nah, never mind. A lot of people have been saying they should give Evil a final form, like a V Cinema with the other Crowvi stamp, and maybe they will, but I don't know. So, we should probably transition now to just the other random things I wanted to talk about. We're getting a versus movie. Yes, we're getting a versus movie for Kira Major and Zenkaiger. I'm so excited for this movie. Because little known fact, actually, I love Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger. And other little known fact, I really enjoyed Mashin Sentai Kira Major. So you put those two in the same movie, that in itself is pretty fantastic. Then you make it a Zenkaiger movie with Stacy and Zox finally joining the team posed, probably the roll call as well. The Nana ni Zorate, that is pure beauty. I had to put that picture here because this is fantastic. Just look at that wonderful image on the right, and the poster's pretty cool as well. And then Marvelous and Kyrie are coming back as whatever is the anniversary show. We'll have returning actors, sure, fine, whatever. I'm here for the Kira Major Zenkaiger and then the Zenkaiger 7 Ranger roll call. I'm here. I'm very excited. I can't wait. I especially can't wait for the gear, to see what the gear does, because they announced an exclusive gear for this movie, which I haven't done in a while, actually. I don't think we've ever gotten an exclusive thing for the Versus movies, because I know there was a Lupin Ranger Ryusou and a Kira Major Ryusou, but they never released those, and they weren't released with the movie. So it's pretty cool that we're getting a movie gimmick for the Versus, the crossover, because I can't remember that ever happening. And then I'm just excited to see what it does, because I'm really hoping that it gives the Zenkaigers a power-up, and obviously one specific Zenkaiger a power-up. And if it does that, then I actually will need to buy the gear. Like, unironically, I will have to buy the gear if it gives all the Zenkaigers a power-up. So, on one hand, I'm like, that's a lot of money to spend on the gear. On the other hand, I would gladly spend money on this gear if it gives the characters a power-up. So, we're going to have to see. The gear is not pictured, by the way. It's just a Zenkaiju repaint. But I'm really excited to see what the gear does. We still don't know what it does. I want to know what it does. We don't even know when we're going to know what it does, because I don't think we knew about the Ryu Soldier, like, power-up form for, like, at least for a while until the movie came out. So, and the movie doesn't come out for this movie doesn't come out in, like, over a month. I'm going to see if I can find, like, when we found out about the Ryu Soldier power-up. I don't even know where, like, what I look for. Like, yeah, I have no idea. I don't. Someone said, I think the gear does not do anything else. We don't know what it... I mean, it's going to do something. It's in the movie. They're not going to sell us a toy that does nothing. Right? So... Do I think Live's form should have been based on secondary riders? I don't know. I think it's fine. He uses Jackal and he gets an X-Aid form, so... On the topic of forms, of course. The Zenkaiger form, Kira Major form... no, not Kira Major form. See, because the Kira Majors have a team power-up. So I don't know if, there's an instance, like, they might make this repaint gear give the Kira Majors a power-up, but they already have a power-up. They have the... what is it? The Kirame, the Go forms, Kirame Go Arrow, they could just give that to Takemichi, like, in this movie, because they did it in a stage show. So that would be pretty cool to see it in this movie. And then the Zenkaigers don't have a team power-up, so give them a team power-up. Or at least, like, obviously, like, at least give the Kikinoids would you give Stacy a power up because he has the Kyoko form, but that's like his base form now, so I don't know. But either way, like, give them a team power. Give the Zenkaiger's a team power up. There you go. That's my professional opinion. Give them a team power up. And at this point, I mean, give them a team power up because Majin's part of the team. That's my. Yes, the 6th Ranger for Donbrothers is gold and silver in the sense of that it is one Ranger with 2 different forms. He's got a gold and a silver Ranger form. So he is like Lupin Pattern X if it was like just on one team, I assume. But maybe they will play into something with like the brain person or this other rival Ranger. Maybe they will be, maybe like one of the forms will be with them. I have no idea. Give the new gear to Flint. I would be down if they gave the gear to Flint and that just gave her a Ranger form. Although she has a Ranger form now. If you guys didn't know, there's a stage show that came out recently, and they give Flint a Ranger form in that. So it would be kind of like weird to give her a Ranger form in that, and then now she gets a Ranger form in a different Ranger form in a different thing. But yeah, if they made it her Ranger form, that would be pretty cool. I just really hope it's not a Cure Major power up, I guess, or it's not either not like a single person power up, so just like give Kaito a different form because he already has like a different form. So don't do that. Don't give it to the Cure Majors. Give it to all the Zenkaigers, or give it maybe to Stacy. I don't know. I don't really want Stacy to just have it. I want Majin power up. I mean, if just Majin uses it, that's entirely fine. The others have their moments in Zenkaiger, but she got her power up. She gets her power up. Someone did ask, Flint has what now? Flint does have a Ranger form in a stage show. It's probably on the wiki, I think. So you can do a wiki hunt. If it is the same Ranger key, I don't know why I said Ranger key. If it's the same Sentai gear that gives her this Ranger form, it would be a bit weird though, because it's like, they don't match. It's a Cure Major themed gear, and then a silver purple 2 Kaiser, and we already know the gear she uses for the 2 Kaiser, so it's probably not gonna give her the same Ranger form. Tukai Flint is the name. Tukai Flint is the name. Do I think Gokai Red will turn into Zenkaiser? This is a great point, because now that we have the canon post Gokaiger Ranger keys, and this whole special is Gokai Red all the returning Rangers are post Gokaiger Rangers. There's a big opportunity here for Gokai Red to turn into one of these Rangers. Or all of them, right? So Zenkaiser's definitely on the table, I think. And then 2 Kaiser as well, since they just announced a 2 Kaiser, a 2 Kaiser key. So they could have Gokai Red turn into Gokai Gold, and then he poses with 2 Kaiser. So I hope they do something like that too. So. Lots of opportunities. I'm very, very looking forward to this movie. Can't wait. We're probably not going to see it until September, because that's when the DVD comes out and the Blu-ray. Unless they do another, like they've been doing recently, and they give out the DVD like at the screening. It's going to be a long time, and I'm very sad. So either way, excited for a movie. Last thing I did want to just kind of talk about, it's not really much. It's just Kamen Rider Black Sun has stuff. I'm gonna take a sip of water though. So they announced this a while back. it's supposed to be um it's like Kamen Rider Amazons was a remake of Amazon. This is a remake of Kamen Rider Black. And I think I think it would incorporate elements of Black RX. I'm not really sure because I haven't seen either of those shows. So either way, I just kind of wanted to talk about it for a bit because I haven't talked about it. And since I'm not like talking about magazine scans, I thought it would be fun to bring this up. Because I do think these suits look really cool. Like I haven't seen Amazons because of like, I don't know, it just seems like it's not for me because it's like so bloody and stuff. But I'm probably gonna try and check this out just because of the just the suits. The suits are pretty great. Like Shadow Moon, like the Black Sun suit is, we don't know what platform it's gonna be on. Someone asked, we have no idea. But the Black Sun suit is pretty. It looks nice, if not simplistic. But the Shadow Moon suit, Kamen Rider Shadow Moon, looks badass. Like that is awesome. I love the look of Kamen Rider Shadow Moon. I think the difference is like the Black Sun suit is just all black, but then Shadow Moon has like an undersuit and then he has like the armor parts. So that looks really cool. And then like the armor design is fantastic. The eyes are a bit, well, see, also the eyes as well, because with Black Sun, the suit is black and then the eyes are black. So it just kind of looks really like off. Like it doesn't, his eyes don't really stand out, and that's a bit strange. But with with Shadow Moon, I don't really mind it because the suit is all silver. So the eyes do actually stand out by being black because the stuff around it is not black. But yeah, with Black Sun, the eyes do look kind of strange. But for both, I would have preferred if they actually gave them their red and green eyes respectively. Maybe they will do that, but then it's like, why didn't they do that for this suit? But it's fine. Yeah, I wish they had colored eyes, but it's kind of it's just a weird choice to get them black eyes. But I do think the suits look pretty cool. And other than that, we literally have nothing else about this show. We don't know. I mean, we know like riders and stuff. We actually got looks at the bikes, but I didn't put that here because it's just bikes. They will ride bikes in this show, maybe. And other than that, isn't Shadow Moon a villain in the original? Yes, and he's presumably a villain in this. I mean, there's nothing that's, I think they said he will be a villain. So I mean, yeah, a lot of people have been making another rider comparisons, like the Geo and other riders, and I think that's pretty cool. Like that we just have Kamen Riders that look monstrous and scary like this. Someone said, now that Thunder Gale exists, apologize to Elemental Primitive now. That implies I ever insulted Elemental Primitive or did not like it. Like, I literally... Oh. I have the toy of it, so I don't... I mean, I was never mean to Elemental Dragon. I don't understand this. Why am I being attacked? I'm not being attacked. What do I think about the Zenkaiju gear? Or the Kirameki Zenkaiju gear. I did kind of just talk about that. But I think it looks fine, but I will have to buy it if Majin uses it as a power-up. I'm really hoping she uses it as a power-up because I do want to buy it if she uses it as a power-up. But if she doesn't, then it's a horrible gear, actually, you know. Why do I feel that Premium Bandai is going to make a Kamen Rider Avataro gear set in the future since this season might be the final season? Okay, so first off, Donbrothers is not the final season. Second off, they might make a Kamen Rider gear set, but not for Ichigo to 01, or sorry, Ichigo to Revice. At least they're gonna make, because people have hacked the Dawn Blaster, so we know that We know there's a 0-1 sound in the Dawn Blaster. Obviously, there's a Saber sound because we have a Saber Sentai gear. And then we have a Revice sound and a Vice sound and a... we have a Revice sound, a Vice sound, and a Revice sound. So, they might make a premium set of those. But they're not going to make, like, the whole Rider franchise into gears. Like, they haven't even made all the Riders as Vice stamps. They're not going to... like, I don't understand that, too. Just... like, it's the anniversary season. They're not even, we don't even know if they're gonna make all the Riders as gimmicks. That's a bit weird, but whatever. I'm not buying the stamps anyway, so it's fine. Thoughts on Shadow Moon not having his feet spurs? Oh yeah, he doesn't. That's a bit sad, but they did look kind of weird. So Majin's standalone movie when? I mean, as soon as Bandai returns my calls. I've been, or not Bandai, sorry, Toei. I mean, I've emailed them, I've been calling them, got a bunch of ideas for them. They won't answer. That's a joke, but I mean, if I would have a lot of ideas, so, you know. I wish Toei go back to making dark Kamen Rider series like Blade and Kabuto were. I mean, Kabuto had an episode arc where they were cooking. They had to find the sacred holy knife to cook, and then make the sacred they had a dark holy knife, and then had to find the holy knife counterpart to counteract that knife, and it was played completely serious. So I don't know how dark Kabuto really is. So I'm still mad that we got robbed of the Kajiki Vice stamp appearance in the movie. I agree. Kajiki Vice stamp was that Vice stamp looks really good. If it wasn't so expensive, I would probably buy it just to use with my Demon's driver. But it's not even this. Yeah, the Saber form would have looked really great. Like, Vice probably would have became a sword. Yeah, I'm disappointed. Thoughts on Black Sun resembling the manga Black? I have seen that. That's a pretty cool callback. Yeah. I mean, we're kind of diverting from the suits, so I will probably just switch topics. This is actually the last topic, so I'm just gonna like find an image that I can just put on the screen or something like that. But yeah, this is pretty cool that they're taking like a very different approach. The Shadow Moon suit again just looks really fantastic. Okay, what can I do here with images? You guys know what images are, right? It's like things with things. Very professional. I am very professional, actually. You have no idea. And then I trust that you guys can see everything I'm doing. I'm just kidding. I know you can't. That's the whole point. No, don't do that. Okay. And then let's do that. Perfect. This is great. Oh wait, no, it's kind of messed up. No. Don't worry about it. Don't everything is under control here. No. Okay. So as usual, I mean, guys have already been doing this, so like any questions, I'll just a general chat topic now, whatever you want to ask. Have I seen the O's movie? I haven't seen O's, so I haven't seen the O's movie. Among Us stream when? I don't know. What is my opinion on Among Us? It is a fun game that I haven't played in a long time, but when I did play it, it was fun. Um, is there 47th Sentai next year? Yes. I don't see why there wouldn't be, because Sentai isn't canceled. Um, I want an Agito Vice stamp. See, that's up in the air because Toei hates Agito. I'm just kidding. But it is very funny that of all the progress keys they made, the legend progress keys, that was the only legend progress key that was Gashapon and had a cut through the middle. So, yeah. What are my thoughts on Kamen Rider Live's Holy form? The form looks great. The fight for it was cool visually, but it did fall apart in terms of like its placement in the story. Am I interested in Tokyuger? It was the first gear that Majin was part of. Like she was, like they use that in her debut episode, so I am somewhat interested in it just for that aspect. That's not a joke. Do I think the new Kirame Zenkaiju gear would be the Kikinoid's power up? Please, please, please. I really hope it is. I really hope it is. The rest of the comment mentions like the final form Zords. It doesn't even have to be like that. I just want this. I just want a Majin power up. Thoughts on Kamen Rider Tassel? The suit's kind of strange, but I mean, it's kind of cool that it exists and it uses the Kyomu. Even though I don't like the Kyomu, I think it's just pretty cool that it uses that and it exists as a form. If Gokai Red uses a Zenkaiger key, will he turn into Zenkaiser or Zenkaijuran? Well, the nice thing about Gokaiger is that whatever key they use, they turn into that ranger. So if he uses a Zenkaiser key, he will turn into Zenkaiser. But if he uses a Zenkaijuran key, he will turn into Zenkaijuran. So the answer is pretty clear cut, in my opinion. What would a Donbrothers Vice stamp be? I don't know. That's a great, like, interesting question because they will probably do one if the Zenkaiger, yeah, if Donbrothers are making like Revi and Vice and Revice gears, they'll probably make a Donbrothers Vice stamp. But like I don't know, yeah, what would you do? Because you need an animal, but like what animal would the Donbrothers be? Because like, I mean, like what is what he's not based on an animal, so what are my thoughts on Avataro Sentai Donbrothers, Kamen Rider Revice, Black Sun, and Ultraman Decker? So the great thing about that question is that is like the whole what I talk about in this whole stream. So you can like kind of scroll through and you can kind of see. Yeah, you could make it an Oni Vice stamp, but an Oni is not like an animal that exists. So I don't like they probably wouldn't do that. Like the only thing I could think of is they just do a repaint of Rex because of Juran. They could make an eagle. Oh, we already have eagle. Yeah, I guess they'd either make like an eagle repaint or a Rex repaint because of Don Zenkaio. I think that would be fine. You could make a dog, but it's just like Inu Brother's face. No, it's Inu Brother jumping on the foot soldier's ass, and that's like the picture on the Vice stamp. I would buy that. I wouldn't, but I would love if that existed. Someone called me a Majin simp. Yes. I mean, it's like, yes. Majin Giant or Majin SD. Well, as a giant, she's in the Ranger form, and the SD, she exists in the civilian form, so I have to go with the SD, because, it's just really cute. I'm so sad they never released the SDs as figures. I'm genuinely, like, considering, like, commissioning someone to make the SD like template of from that episode, and then I'll like make stickers and put it on that template because I really want the SD form as a toy. It's so cute. Do I prefer the Revice driver or the two-side driver, the Demons driver? But actually the two-side driver. What rider do I think a crocodile vice stamp would be? That is a good question. Because obviously you can't do Rogue because Rogue's a crocodile, and that would make too much sense. Also, they already did Rogue as like a dung beetle. So, crocodile vice stamp. I have no idea. I would probably try to do something with like an open mouth, like Rogue. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what looks like that. So, that is a good question. People are talking about what vice stamp could be used for Donbrothers. We got Falcon, Small Monkey, yeah, Falcon or Small Monkey. So, or a winged dog, because I assume the two CG Rangers, a dog with wings. That would be funny. Well, actually, yeah. You could do a monkey with a dog snout and wings. Crocodile vice stamp is a type bug from Kamen Rider Build. There is a crocodile form in Kamen Rider Build. That is true. Do the one beetle rider from Kabuto. I don't know which one you're referring to, but sure. Because none of the Kabuto riders would be based on a beetle. Peach vice stamp for Donbrothers. But see, the vice stamps are based on animals, so you can't really do a random fruit. I mean, it's not random fruit. There is, it's pretty obvious why it's a peach, but you can't really do that because it's not an animal. Unless there's like a peach animal. Is there such thing as a peach animal? Hello, Google.com. We're going to look up peach animal. Oh, Gattack. Yeah, it would work really. Crocodile would work fantastic for Gattack, actually. Yeah, that's about what I was thinking of with like the horn. So yeah, that would work perfect. Okay, there is something called a peach-faced lovebird. So there you go, peach-faced lovebird for the Donbrothers vice stamp because it's a bird. It doesn't really fit. However, it is a peach and that fits. So perfect. When will I cover Kikaider? If I ever see Kikaider. Kikaider cider. Woo! I don't know why I said that. Because it rhymes, I guess. I was thinking a fox for Don Momotaro, but have the tail be the little thing on the... Oh, yeah. The tail be the top knot. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, you could do like a tailed animal and then it turns into a little tail. That would be kind of interesting if Revi turns into like Don Momotaro, and then I guess Vice would have to look like Don Momotaro as well, because they haven't done anything where like the two riders like look different. So... Am I interested in Cyborg Kuro-chan? I don't know what that is. Am I interested in the Majin book thing? I have purchased it. So, yes. What's my favorite picture in it? That's a very tough question because I love all of the pictures. So it's like you can't really pick a favorite picture of your wife, right? Because then she'll get angry. That's the position I'm in right now. Oh my! Someone said, "What if Majin gets a stamp?" I would die if Majin got a Vice stamp because that'd be so cool and I'd have to buy it. Not because I don't hate Vice stamps. I would have to buy that Vice stamp. What is my favorite portrayal of the Riddler from Batman? I've literally only seen the Riddler in the Batman, and I just saw the Batman like yesterday. So I have to say that out of literally that's all I can say. Didn't the Demon's Driver reveal a Vice stamp based on a flower though? I do not remember because there's like 100 sounds in that, so maybe it did, but I don't remember. What classic Sentai have I watched? I mean, classic is a very subjective term, I would feel. I've seen Maji Ranger. That's the oldest Sentai I've seen. I don't know if that answers your question, but have I ever vented in Among Us? Yes, I have. Is Den-O and Revice related? I'm not sure what you mean, but they did do a special video, like a little video series of Den-O and Revice like teaming up because they're both based on peaches. Don Momotaro. Oh, sorry. Den-O and Revice. I read that as Den-O and Donbrothers. Den-O and Revice, I don't think they're related. I mean, I don't see. It's just because they have demon partners, but other than that, they're not really related. I don't know why I read that as Donbrothers. So, has there ever been a main Rider motif based on plants? Not to my knowledge. Which do I prefer, Demon's Driver or Veil Driver? Demon's Driver just because it's a better looking Veil Driver, and I don't think the Veil Driver really needed to exist. I'm hoping Gokai Silver does the Two Kaiser dance. I'm assuming that's happening in the... You're talking about the Versus movie, but he's not in that Versus movie. It's just Marvelous. Marvelous is the only Gokaiger appearing in that movie, so Gokai Silver can't really do the dance in the movie, but it's fine. I mean, if he does it, he could do it in like a separate video, and that would be pretty cool. If they ever do a Revice form for Don Momotaro, they should have Vice be the Don Momotaro altar. That would be pretty cool. He's just a big... Oh yeah, they could reuse the Kong like Geo base suit since it's really bulky. So do I think we might get another Donbrothers meets short? I don't see why not. But it's like, what would they do? They might do something with like, they could do something with like the other Rangers turning into the other forms, because they did Don Momotaro turning into all the things. Maybe they'll do a Revice thing. I don't know. It's just like a little thing, just like a little video. So the opportunities are pretty big for what they could do with that. So we've been going for about an hour 45. So I'm probably going to wrap up here. Anyone has any last questions, throw them in the chat, and I will try to answer them before I leave forever. You're actually never going to hear again from me after this stream. I'm just going to disappear into the void. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that. Hopefully I'll stream a little bit sooner than I did this time, because the scans are going to come out in like a week or two. So maybe I'll stream again in like a week or two, hopefully. So we'll see. Either way, just I guess just to get all like the advertisement stuff out of the way, be sure to check out my latest two videos, or just my latest videos in general. We talked a bit about Donbrothers here. You can check out my Donbrothers review for episode 1 if you want to hear my thoughts on the show. This coming week, I'm going to be doing another unboxing. It's going to be a Zenkaiger unboxing. I'm very excited about it. So definitely subscribe if you want to see that. But you can see it right now. Or no, you actually can't see it right now. But you can see it very soon if you pay $2 on my Patreon. So there's that. And other than that, I have other videos coming out. But I don't have any plans for those, like what they are. So, yeah. So, last couple of questions. What is, in my opinion, the best Sentai for beginners? Honestly, just whatever Sentai you think looks cool. Like, I think Zenkaiger, I've seen people say they started Sentai, or Tokusatsu in general, with Zenkaiger, and they still enjoyed it. So, you can start Zenkaiger if you think Zenkaiger looks cool. Start Zyuohger if you think Zyuohger looks cool. Whatever you think looks cool, just, there you go. I think they're all good Sentai to start with. Oni Sister meets Hibiki. That would actually be a pretty... that would make sense for one of the specials. But they focus on Don Momotaro, so it's... I don't know, but the other one had Oni Sister in it, so I don't know. It's some in the air. If Lego somehow made a Denliner set, would I buy it? Probably not, because that would be expensive. And I don't really need that. Donbrothers meets Majin. That is... Yes. Kiji Brother meeting Majin. I need Kiji Brother meeting Majin. He's like, you're a pretty cool robot Pink Ranger, and you are also a Pink Ranger who's married, just like me. Isn't that pretty cool? What do I think of an animated Kamen Rider adaptation? That would be really cool. Although, like, yeah, I don't know. That would be, like, really interesting. Like, not even an adaptation, just animated Kamen Rider. Oh, yeah, we are getting the double anime, so there you go. I don't know. Animated Tokusatsu after watching Gridman. I want to see more animated Tokusatsu because it's really cool what you can do in animation with Tokusatsu ideas. So, do I plan to do a list for my favorite Sentai power-ups like I did with Rider Final Forms? I don't plan to do that, but I won't say I will never do that, because I could do that. It seems like a fun idea. I'll have to wait for the Majin power-up in the Versus movie, so I can put that one at the top. What if Lego makes a Majin? I'll buy it. That's one I will definitely buy. A Majin Bionicle set. Now that I would also definitely buy. That would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty. I mean, that would be pretty. There you go. It would just be pretty. Someone said Gokaiger is a good Sentai to start with. I haven't seen it, but I know a lot of people did start with it, so yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't be a bad season to start with. Am I gonna watch Futo Detective? Yes, I'll watch at least a couple episodes just because, yeah, I am really interested to see. I've seen Double. I like Double, and it would be I kind of want to see the anime rendition of it. So yeah, I'll definitely check that out. I don't know if I'll do any videos on it, but I'll definitely just be watching it on a separate, just on. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I'll definitely watch it on my own. Probably will not be doing any reviews on it. All right, I don't want to guarantee I'll do any reviews. How much money would a 1-to-1 scale Lego figure for Majin? I'm not sure if it's asking how much I'd pay, cause that's a good question. See, I don't know how much I'd pay. A Bionicle figure 1-to-1 scale, that's the same thing. I don't know how much I'd pay. But I would be interested. Shinobi 2022. No, Shinobi 2022. Shinobi is not going to be 2022. I feel like they will make a Shinobi something in the year of our Lord 2022, but I don't think they will. He's not going to be the next show. So, best place to get Sentai gears, because I've had my gear to linger, or is it gear? They spelled gear to linger. Either way, you have a gear using device from Zenkaiger, and they want to know the best place to buy them. Tokulectables has a couple of gear. I don't know. They don't have a lot. left, but they do have a couple of gear sets. So you could check there for like random gear sets, random gears. I would also, because they've given me money, I would say you could check out Bai, because they have a bunch of gears. I don't know where else, since the Sentai gears aren't like being produced anymore. You could check out HLJ, Ami Ami if they have gear sets. Amazon Japan. Mandarake does have a couple gear sets as well. Shinobi cameo in Revice. I don't know, because Revice isn't really doing the past character cameos. So maybe like a Shinobi like side special thing. It could definitely happen, but probably not in the actual show. Favorite Toa, the red ones, because that's just there's no pink Toa. That's an L. Not gonna lie. But final form of Revice based on Shinobi. That would be, unironically, that would go incredibly hard if his final form was based on Shinobi. That would be badass. But yeah, favorite Toa. I don't know favorite Toa, because I mean the red ones are cool. I think Kopaku was my first one, so I'm like, I have a soft spot for him, but I also really like the Madanui like helmet and the whole design of that. But red is just a cool color, so Bionicles just look cool. That is my professional opinion. And on that note, for this Tokusatsu stream, I am gonna leave it there. So thank you guys so much for coming out. As usual, I love doing streams. Very fun. And again, be sure to check the description for stuff. Be sure to subscribe to check out prior stuff, upcoming stuff, and lots of stuff. So I hope to see you next time. Thank you for watching.